Are we going to talk about it? Like before the news?
This is the Nerdy Things Podcast. This podcast contains strong language, adult themes, and poorly developed ideas.
Guys, let's go. Let's go, guys.
Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 63 of the Nerdy Things Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kevin. I am joined, as always, by Jules. Hey, Jules.
Heyo.
And by Tim. What's going on, Tim?
Nothing. We're doing this. Let's go, guys.
We're doing it.
We're going
to do it live.
Doing it live. Oh, man. Hey, guys. In other news.
18-wheeler style.
Oh, 18-wheeler style.
Yeah.
In other news. It's Fiesta over here in San Antonio for like the past month or the past couple weeks.
It's party.
Party all the time.
It's just party. It's party here.
I'm so tired. It's literally called Fiesta, so I figured y'all wouldn't know what it is. So I was gonna get into it.
Do they serve breakfast burritos?
Bro, that's every day. Every day, bro.
Well, I'd like to know how it could be Fiesta there when Rob Gronkowski is Fiesta.
Wow. I wish I understood that one, but I'm about to go get a breakfast taco after this.
I don't know.
So one of the Patriots players going to sports balls, big dumb tight end who's one of the best football players ever, one time in an interview just said, "Yo soy Fiesta."
Oh, wow.
I am party.
There's a lot wrong with that one. But yeah, he's not here, no. But during Fiesta, it's pretty much every day where there's just something going on downtown. It's just soup, a ton of drinking, a ton of great food. There's chicken on a stick. There's
chicken on a stick.
Much dancing. Yeah, chicken on a stick is kind of
better when you put it on a stick.
I have a question. About the chicken. Are these small pieces of chicken already cooked on a stick? Large pieces of chicken already cooked on a stick, or just a stick up a chicken carrying it around clucking like mad?
They are a medium size, probably Tyson chicken little circle with a little jalapeno on top, but you get it at Fiesta.
You're not selling
it at party.
You get it at party.
Yeah, you get it at party. This whole couple.
I'm never gonna let go of this. This thing is party. It's party. It's not the party. It is party.
You can literally go downtown right now and just say yell at the top of your lungs, Fiesta, and everyone's gonna go, hey, and then they'll probably buy you a drink or something. It's pretty intense. So I'm playing a lot, performing a lot because it's the party, nonstop party in San Antonio, and I'm very tired. How are y'all doing this week?
Pretty tired myself. Yeah.
Okay.
The work schedule is really kicking my ass.
Yeah, kicking my ass too, because we're here Wednesday night. But Tim, you're the one with the new kid. You're not tired? Are you tired?
I'm superhuman when it comes to sleep, for the most part. So yeah.
Yes, Tim is not human. That's exactly the takeaway from that.
Episode 63. Tim isn't the human one.
Jules is the
Spoiler
human.
alert.
I am not the human. Tim not the human. That's gonna be my new online moniker.
Yeah. So if you hadn't caught on yet, we're the Nerdy Boys, and we're talking about nerdy things all the time. This week, we're going to talk about some Marvel movies, pretty much all the Marvel movies. We're going to hopefully rank them and talk about them and get, some of our takes on a lot of the ones that we haven't really talked about yet until this far, episode 63. We are not giving away any Avengers spoilers. You might have seen it by the time this comes out, but we have not seen it. I will be, we'll all be seeing it very soon, but no spoilers for that. So don't worry. We're talking about all of them, all the Marvel movies up until the new Avengers movie, Infinity War. And next week is when everything's going to pop off. Spoilers are going to go wild. We're going to be talking about Infinity War. But this week, we're going to, start the Marvel Bonanza, Marvel Fiesta, and talk about
That's the name of the episode.
There you go.
We were trying to come up with the episode. You just did
Fiesta.
The Marvel Fiesta.
Done.
Oh boy! Don't forget you can reach us on most social media at Nerdy Things Pod. That's Nerdy Things Pod. You can send us an email at nerdythingspod@gmail.com. You can visit our website nerdythingspod.com for the latest nerdy news updated daily. And over there on the website, something super cool. We have another podcast The Good Place podcast. We talk about NBC's The Good Place. Super fun. We're going episode by episode. New episodes of that is every Monday, and you can find links to that on the website, or you can just Google or go onto iTunes, wherever you're listening to our podcast, you can find that other podcast. So Everything is Fine, ! A Good Place podcast. That's the name of our other podcast. And if you want to hear more Nerdy Boys every week, we do another episode. So 2 episodes, Everything's Fine, Nerdy Things Pod, every week from us. You can also find links to our merch for shirts and more. I am wearing a Nerdy Things shirt, pink, and Tim knows because he's my best friend out of the 3 of us.
That's fair. That's fair.
Out of the 3 of us, he's my best friend. Links to YouTube to watch the podcast episodes, our Patreon for extra content like bloopers and early access to our stuff. We have a ton of stuff going up on Patreon all the time, and you get the episode early. You get to talk to us. We do all this stuff. You get to know the episode like main topic every week before anybody else. So that's super cool. Only for $1, you can get all that stuff. And you can text us or leave us a voicemail, 978-78-NERDY. That's 978-786-3739. That's all the ways you can reach us. And we got to get into it.
Bonus points to any listener who wants to count how many times Jules said podcast in the first 30
At
seconds.
6 o'clock.
There we
I
go.
said podcast a lot.
At 6 o'clock.
So we've got to get into the nerdy news. Guys, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Apparently, scientists discovered this week that Uranus smells like farts. And I feel like we need to talk about how bad Uranus smells.
It was only a matter of time before you guys confronted me about this.
Yeah, that's why we do this, remotely. It's all because of Tim. Yeah.
We didn't have a
don't even need
choice.
to tell you, but yeah. So this is news.
So like sulfur and stuff, or what?
Yeah, basically the clouds of Uranus are hydrogen sulfide, which is more than they thought.
So funny.
It's hilarious. I had to bring it up
Clouds of
so that
Uranus.
I could say Uranus clouds smell like farts. So, I mean, this is a real thing. This is apparently actual.
This is science.
From science. So, great. That's all. I wanted to bring it up so I could say Uranus. But speaking of old farts, Bruce Campbell has officially retired from playing Ash Williams in Evil Dead.
So, yeah, we figured that with everything that's going on, but are y'all okay with this? Like, I feel like this bittersweet, like, he's given it to us, like, we've already had him for so long. It's okay. Just let him rest. I get that he wants to start some new stuff. He'll always be that person. Just go for it.
I mean, it's been like 30 years since he started this with Sam Raimi. He was in Spider-Man. He was in Darkman as like the sounds and all. Like, he was Briscoe County Jr. What else does this guy need to do? Nothing. Bruce Campbell is Ash Williams. I'm sorry. He is done. That's all I need from him. He can just die, and I would die happy.
Ooh.
But the fact that he is retiring from Ash makes me sad. Leave the possibility open. I love Ash Williams.
He's going to come back in like 10 to 15 years to do like one more, and everyone's going to go wild. That's how that usually goes. So just give him some time. He'll be back.
Pretty much.
The silence that you hear is me not knowing what any of those things are.
You don't know what?
Tim, you have
All
not
of those
know
words
any
that
of
you
this?
said. All of those words that you said, I'm not familiar with any of them.
You're not. Oh boy, we got to watch. Wow. Oh, my mind's blown right now. Jesus. I thought you just.
Johnson?
It's
What,
Ash
Johnson?
Ketchum.
Ash Williams.
Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. He's retiring. After 20 years with Pikachu, finally hanging up the Thunderbolt. And
So I brought
calling
this
it
up.
a day.
And Campbell Soup was
I
involved?
was on the Dumb All Over podcast this week, and I brought this up as well. And Tom from Dumb All Over also had no idea who Ash Williams was. Tim, you have to watch Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, that's the best.
Seriously. You just forget Evil Dead 1.
So I should
Watch
skip
Evil
one.
Dead 2. Yes, skip
I
1.
won't be
Skip
lost.
1. 1 is terrible. No.
I saw
You would
all
be
of them,
lost
and I'm
if you
still
watched one.
lost.
Yeah.
I could not imagine watching D2 without watching the Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
So
no.
I feel like if I'm going to watch the second one, I have to watch the first one.
No. Please. This is a situation where you definitely skip the first one.
Okay.
Just watch the second one. If you like it, which you will, watch the third one. And then do not watch Ash versus Evil Dead on Stars or wherever.
Yeah, that wasn't that great.
It wasn't great. But I mean, just watch the second one, please. I'll even give you the DVD.
Yeah,
This is kind of how I recommend people watch Son of the Mask and just skip the mask.
Oh,
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Jamie
no,
Kennedy.
no, people don't do that. That's not a thing.
No. No.
okay.
Wow. No, I'm offended. We brought that's 2 The Mask references in the past 2 episodes. No,
I
I'm
know
okay.
that's why I did it.
Okay.
Oh God.
So yeah, he's gonna come back. I mean, that's a thing, but you know, he just needs his time right now. It's totally cool.
Sure.
Who else is coming back? Fucking Lauren. I don't even know how to say your name. Cohen. Lauren Cohen. Cohan returns. She's gonna be back for season 9 of Walking Dead, the show that everybody's watching, the hit TV
They
show.
showed her that
Walking Dead.
money.
She's coming back. We talked before how she wasn't probably going to come back because of money stuff, and it was up in the air. But now she did confirm, even though she's, I don't know, apparently still greenlit for this other show that she's going to be starring in. But now that's up in the air still. Is she going to do both?
Maybe we can do
Oh
2
man,
shows. It's possible.
leaving me on the edge of my seat.
I'm not on the edge of my seat. I do not care about The Walking Dead. I'm glad that she's going back because it means she's, working and she's a pretty good actress. Just the show she's on is not great.
But what about Carl?
Coral. Yeah, I mean, come on. Spoiler alert. Coral's dead. Coral's not coming back. And, from what I understand, apparently the whole story has gone off the rails. So I can't bring myself to care. I don't.
I care way more about like whatever she's doing than the show itself.
Sure.
Yeah,
Let's put it
exactly.
that way.
That's exactly right. Like
all I
want
hear
her
in
to
this
be
story is
successful.
that she got the money.
Yay.
Because that was why she was holding out. So one
Right.
would assume she got the money. So
You
I
would hope.
say, yay for women.
I mean, people love money. They'll do anything for money. They'll do like an animated Fast and Furious TV show because why not?
Tim, are you excited for this one?
If this were The Rock and Jason Statham's spinoff, I'd be happy because
Right?
it would have been downgraded to animated status.
I'm pretty sure. Hold
No.
on, let me check. Oh no, it's Dom Toretto's cousin Tony for some fucking reason.
Tony Toretto. They couldn't have picked another name than Tony Toretto.
Nope, absolutely not.
Who is this geared for? Who is this for?
Well, so it's going to be executive produced and show run by Tim Hedrick. He did Voltron Legendary Defender,
Yep.
which is, I think that's the one that's on Netflix right now. And
Yep.
then Brett Holland, that's going to make this whole other show, All Hail King Julian, but that has an E, not an A, so that's not me. But I'm assuming that it's going to be some sort of like an anime crowd because that's, Tim Hedrick with the Voltron Legendary Defender sort of animated up a little bit. So I think
Voltron was animated to begin with, really.
yeah.
It was
So
purchased
maybe they'll make like an
Disney.
anime sort of Fast and the Furious. I used to read this manga called Initial D, and this was about like some driving stuff, which was super interesting and super fun to read. But maybe it'll take that route. Maybe it'll fill that void. I don't know. But so far, the character, his cousin, come on, Tony Toretto.
I mean, honestly, there's so many characters in this franchise that
It's his
could spin
family.
off. We could do prequels with The Rock. We could do prequels with Jason Statham. We could do a million different wacky, weird things if we're doing an animated series. And I just don't feel like we need to focus on someone we have never heard of who is, through the logic that you can only put together from like the Da Vinci Code, going to have the same adventures as his cousin and survive them just as well as his cousin.
Oh, wait, hold on. What was the name of his cousin in the last movie? The guy on the island, the one he borrowed the piece of junk car from?
Was that him?
He
That
wasn't
wasn't
Tony, was he?
I don't think that was Tony.
I don't think so.
No, because then I see it. Because you're bringing in a character that we have been introduced to, like tiny little bit.
Well,
Would
this
they
is
really make
18.
that guy do the voice acting
Yeah.
for this character? No.
It'd be a
Yeah.
big step up from him. I mean,
Yeah, probably.
No, I mean,
late
this is
30-second role.
teenager Tony Toretto follows in the footsteps of his
Oh.
cousin Dom when he and his friends are recruited by a government agency to infiltrate an elite racing league serving as a front for a nefarious crime organization bent on world domination. So this is the exact story of Fast and Furious, just set to teenagers. You know what? I
And
hope they
animated.
each get like a single colored suit to wear and like their cars
that'd be great.
transform into robots, and like that'd be really cool if you could have just
Yeah.
like dinosaur or like pterodactyl or like the white tiger Zord. Oh no, wait, I'm describing Power Rangers. Sorry.
Please make that crossover, my man. Get me some Voltron into Fast and the Furious. Now that would be something. Worlds collide here. But there's apparently some new deal with DreamWorks, Netflix, and Universal Pictures and all this stuff. So we're going to see a whole lot of new stuff like Troll Hunters, Spirit Riding Free, and the aforementioned All Hail King Julian 14 original series on the streaming service. So we'll see.
Well, that's
if
the
one
thing.
of
I
them.
hope that what they're doing with the Fast is not going to be geared towards a younger audience.
I think
Because
it will
there's
be.
nothing about the Fast and Furious movies that are appropriate for a younger audience.
I think that's
Right.
why they're doing it, because that's the demo they haven't tapped into.
I know, but it's not appropriate. So I have a big issue with this.
But
We're
they're
gonna teach
teens. They're not going to
small
be
children
cursing.
that driving fast and driving off of things and explosions is awesome.
It's not even so much the fast driving; it's the
The
women
furious driving.
and the way that they are portrayed in that series. It's not
Sure.
appropriate for children of a certain age to see that as their standard. So
Well, what about witchcraft? I mean, is it appropriate to see children of a certain age pretending that they're wizards or witches?
Hell
of
yes.
course.
Sign me
not
up.
only is it appropriate, it's encouraged.
Oh, really? How would one go about that, Tim?
One would dive into the Harry Potter universe head first, like into a book. Just see what happens. Just go into the book head first and just see what happens.
Wow.
It's kind of like a Blue's Clues scenario. I see it. Okay.
Or play the new mobile game that launched
What?
today as we're recording it. Today, not today, Friday, when you might be listening to this because you're a hardcore fan, but today, Wednesday, when we're recording it. That day.
I got to tell you, I feel mildly violated by this app because while we were sitting here, I just got a notification that says "Grab your wand and let's do something magical."
Oh,
So
Oh, I just got a notification. Energy full. Oh, I got that too. Oh my god.
yeah,
See, I got
don't-
one that told me the Hogwarts Express was leaving soon and that I shouldn't miss it.
Yeah, see, these are all just mildly
gotta-
suggestively sexual, so
No,
I'm not
cut
on
the-
board.
Cut the podcast. We gotta go. The Wizarding World needs us. I only got my wand, guys. I only got my wand in my books. I spent like 30 minutes in character creation because everybody spends like 30 minutes to an hour creating their character.
Dude, there
But
was like no options.
Nothing
No,
unlocks
there was
until
no way
you
you
level up.
spent 30
Cruz. How did you spend 30 minutes? You did something wrong then, my friend. You have like 4 faces to choose from, and 3 of them are identical. You can
I
choose
hate-
your skin color, but there's like 7 whites and like 1 darker skin. And
I
that's
got
it.
the-
Like 3 anime haircuts, 3 that are identical white dude douchebag haircuts.
There
And
was no haircut to
You can
start.
change the haircuts? Okay, no.
Yeah.
No, you have to get a little farther. There was
Okay.
only one haircut to start, and it was a curly fro. I felt like I was a new kid on the block or
Nah,
something.
son,
It was
I got to
really
choose
weird.
haircuts first thing. Trust me.
Oh
What?
man, you're
Yeah.
way ahead. When can we start dueling? Can I duel you yet?
No,
I
you can't.
Just
do
got
it.
my wand. Can I duel you? No.
I hope
Full
never.
disclosure, I put 45 minutes plus into this game already.
What? Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
I put like
no.
the 5 minutes right before the
So it's
podcast.
not what I was expecting so far.
Okay.
let's
Is
put
it
it
good or
out.
bad?
How so?
I don't know yet. So first of all, the character optimization thing was very limited to begin with.
Sure.
You have to unlock stuff. Secondly, I thought it was going to be kind of an interactive, like roam as you will, meet other people outside of
Oh
your.
man.
Apparently, it's a single player game so far.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just you.
I wasn't sure how long that would last, but it was all on rails for me. It was like, now click
Yeah.
here. Now click here twice. Now click here 3 times. Now
Now
click here again.
you did have 3 options for your reply for sometimes.
Well, yeah. So they definitely when you reply certain ways as you get on, they award you points based on the nature of your reply, courage, empathy, and I forget what the other one is. But it's very linear. It's a lot of clicking. I'm assuming you'll get to explore more at some point, but there's 2 things that I've noticed about it. One that I like, one that I don't like. One, the linear nature is telling a story, and I love a new story in the land of Hogwarts. So that's cool. Like there's a story that it's like you're going through a book, chapter 1, chapter 2. However, the first real challenge I got into, spoiler alert, you get entangled in Devil's Snare, and you have to do some spell work to get yourself out of it.
Mhm.
You run out of energy points.
Oh, that's how they get
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the little coins, the plus, I already knew you
Yeah.
were gonna have to pay for that.
So
Mhm.
you either have to pay for them, or it took 4 minutes to recharge an energy point. So I had to wait after I ran out of them. I had to wait 20 whole minutes to finish that little battle.
Yeah.
So I'm not really into paying anything for this game. So
Sure.
we'll see how much that plays in as I go along.
Yeah, I hate
It'll
games.
wear on my patience big time.
I would much rather have the ability to just keep playing. But they know that there are people who will get addicted to the notion that they can come back for a reward.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a ton of those games that are out there. Like they have the same setup in the corner, like the little meters go down or whatever. And I was hoping for an open world as well. Like as soon as I got into Diagon Alley, I immediately started clicking on other people, and I was like, oh nope, you're my only friend, Rowan or whatever his name is. That's the only guy I can talk to. Okay, well this isn't the greatest, but I mean I'm still gonna check it out. It's still like you said, Tim, a cool little story that's going to be unique to everybody playing it, and it's like a book, so
And everything
not
that
bad.
you click on, you can see like, okay, these are spells that I'm going to learn, and it goes through the different spells that you'll learn in that class year 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gathering that this is actually like a 3-year story. So it could be quite involved and really keep you playing for a while. I mean, not 3 actual years, but keep you going for a while. So did you guys use your actual names, or did you pick different names as your
I hit
character?
random and it called my character Martin. So I just went with that.
Seriously, that was
Wow.
the random pick?
Yep.
That's
Wow.
fantastic. No, I use my name.
So I was thinking, I was typing in Tim Hunt, and I'm like, let's use a different name. What should I pick? And it just popped into my head. Kevin will know this one. Julius Pepperwood, the fictional character written by Nick from New Girl.
Yep.
Wow.
So the funny thing is they use your name a lot in this, and sometimes they'll call you by your last name or your first name or a combination. And what it has created is a little smile on my face every time someone says Julius Pepperwood. It just makes me laugh. So I'm Julius
Fair enough.
Pepperwood.
Wow.
Pepperwood. That's me. I'm from Chicago. Pepperwood. Julius
Oh,
Pepperwood.
God.
Chicago.
So let us definitely want to hear everybody's thoughts. You've had a couple days to play it. If you're a hardcore Harry Potter fan, you've been putting in some hours into this game. We definitely want to know what you think of the new Harry Potter mobile game. As of right now, it's just coming out today. It's number 2 on the apps chart of everything, of all the free ones, of all the free apps out there. But we definitely want to hear what you think about this game at Nerdy Things Pod on pretty much everything. And if we can battle sometime, definitely let's battle. Let's battle the nerdy boys. We'll give you. You already know Tim's name. So go
Pepperwood.
find
I'm
us.
Pepperwood. I'm from Chicago. Deep dish pizza. Alert. Hold on, guys. Stop the presses. My watch just told me something. Kevin
What did
Howe
your watch tell
retweeted a thing.
What? Is
What?
that what that
What?
button did? Holy crap.
What just happened? Kevin Howe retweeted.
Sound the alarms.
Oh boy. Well, there, yeah,
Wow.
Dumb All Over posted about Bruce Campbell and retiring from Ash Williams. And so I had to retweet that because it was so on topic.
Kevin, you're everywhere this week. Let's talk about that real quick. So you're on Dumb All Over.
Yep.
And you got to talk to the Rock Talk guys. So Rock Talk, we had them on before. By the time you hear this, the Rock Talk episode will already be out. So if you want to hear some more Rampage talk, some I don't know what it is. Kevin talked to them about Rampage.
Yeah, I had to go onto their show and apologize for Tim. That's really what it amounts.
I really wanted to go. I really wanted to go on the show. This was hurting me when I was not being able to go on the show.
I had to try to explain his situation. Like, I went on there hoping I could agree with them more than I did, and hoping that I could at least justify Tim's position, which I actually did. By the end, I was angry, and I was like, no, listen, here is why this movie was terrible, and you guys are now the worst. So check that out. That's, I mean, honestly, they're never going to speak.
Guys, if you have an opening for a co-host, I mean, I'm down.
my voice got into Kevin's head and took over. Thank you, Kevin, for
I was speaking Tim's words. And it was kind of funny because we recorded using the video service that we use here. And so I'm looking at Charlie and Jordan. Jordan is stuffed in a closet with like clothes hanging around him because it's the only area of the house that doesn't echo.
Yeah.
And Charlie, who has hardwood floors in the room he records in, literally made a fort out of his couch cushions. He was like huddled underneath the couch cushions, and I didn't understand what had happened at first. Like, I turned around and looked back, and I thought he was like rooting through for change or something. Like, they're that hard up.
See, that's why they're the world famous Rock Talk pod. That's why they got recognized. I'm sitting here with a brick wall behind me and the bounciest ever, and we don't care. We have we're in rooms or whatever. I don't even know where y'all are at. So
I'm in the damn baby's room with this big curtain behind me, and I sound like an angel because of all the soft baby plush surfaces.
It's true.
I mean, ever since I moved into this room, I started sounding like a freaking angel on the pod.
All the soft babies.
Meanwhile, I've got the office full of hard, sharp books. So I don't know, man. I got nothing.
But anyways, go hear Kevin on all the other pods, Dumb All Over and Rock Talk. Those are super fun. And go show them some love because we have a cool little podcasting family that we're building, and we go on other stuff. So it's pretty cool. What's next on the news? What are we talking about?
You know who didn't show love this week? Jason Momoa. He was talking about the best Batman, and he explained that it's Will Arnett and definitely not Ben Affleck. And I got to tell you, I agree. I'm with you. 100%.
Yeah, I didn't see any problem with this. I was like, yeah, if I'm going to see Will Arnett, I'm definitely going to tell him I love his Batman.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like Jason Momoa, too, I would say it to Ben Affleck's face. Like, I would be like, you like apples? How you like them apples? Jerk.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know
if you were Jason Momoa, you would say it to his face too, because you could say anything to anybody's face if you were Jason Momoa. But
but I would say it like this fat, dumpy asshole here would say it to him. Like, if I saw him, I would say it to him.
Don't steal Kevin Smith's bit, okay?
No, yeah. I mean, but I guess Jason Momoa kind of hangs around Ben Affleck a lot. He's going to be coworkers with him for a while. So I don't know. Maybe he'll try and get Will Arnett into the suit.
Or Jake Jonah.
With that.
I would love to see Will Arnett be the actual Batman. Like, that would be so awkward.
all I can think of is, though, the character he played in 30 Rock. Did you guys watch 30 Rock?
No, I just think of him from what's that other one that he's in? The one that got canceled, the one that came back.
Kevin, did you watch 30 Rock?
I watched 30 Rock, but Jules, you're thinking of Arrested Development.
There you go.
Yeah.
So in 30 Rock, he plays the nemesis to Alec Baldwin's character. And the funny, they both have these kind of deep, gruffy voices, and they're big business executives. But the funny thing is, his name is Devin Banks, and even though he's in the world of Republican businessmen, secretly he's gay. And it's like the whole character is, he's always like they're in each other's face, close talking, and Baldwin's trying to like entice him, and he's like, "You're so close to me, but I hate you still." And it's they play off each other so damn well in that show. It's awesome.
Wow.
So that would be my Batman. My Will Arnett Batman would be a secretly gay, like, Republican businessman. That would be.
Isn't that Lego Batman though? No,
it's kind of the same guy.
A little bit. I'm waiting for that new Lego Batman. I'm definitely ready. That's my Batman.
That's my jam.
What's his name? I already forgot his name. I was gonna say Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh no,
Will Arnett.
No,
Zach
Peter Parker.
Oh,
Peter Parker?
Yes, I was gonna make a Tobey Maguire's my Spider-Man, and
Maguire.
Will Arnett is my Batman.
You're slipping, man.
My
Right?
God.
It's late.
He's
I'm
falling down
tired.
your rankings.
I mean,
No, actually, Courtney reminded me of him. She posted something about him being her Spider-Man, and I was like, yes.
I just don't
Shout out to
understand
Courtney.
how Tobey Maguire can be your Spider-Man when he fought that terrible version of Venom in the
Okay,
third movie.
that was really bad. Not
That
gonna
was
lie.
the worst. Topher Grace is not my Venom, but I got to
No.
tell you, Tom Hardy probably isn't my Venom either.
There was a
Ooh,
lot of mixed feelings about that. There was a
shots
lot
fired.
of stuff going on, and
Yeah, I mean, the trailer that came out this week was just
so they've we've seen a lot of hype from Tom Hardy before. We've seen him at like huge conferences with no, no footage at all, just him being there. They released like he's gonna be Venom, so he's going to all this stuff, to all these different Comic Cons. Tons of people love him. There's a whole T-shirt made for Venom already, and there's like a huge following. And then now we finally get a trailer, and I don't know if I like this direction.
yeah.
I'm a huge Venom fan ever since you could play Venom and Carnage in some of the Spider-Man games. Like Venom and Carnage were super amazing. Like those are my favorite.
Yeah.
And then now,
I mean, I'm a huge Venom fan. I'm not going to lie. I saw someone on Twitter the other day say something along the lines of Tom Hardy has never been bad in a movie. And I agree. I can't think of a single role Tom Hardy has been in that I didn't love.
Mhm.
But this is like Rampage, where I feel like just from this trailer, we can see that this is a movie made by people who have no idea what Venom is.
Sure. I got some tweets about it because we asked, what did you think of? Oh, yeah. I think it was like, let's see. We got some people relevant to our interests at R2 Interest said, I love Tom Hardy, but I don't know. Venom devoid of Spider-Man just seems off.
Yeah.
So do you really think Venom, this character, they're trying to make him this anti-hero. We don't know where he's going to be. We don't know if he eats people yet. We don't know what the rating of the movie is yet. Do you think he can carry this movie?
No, not really. I mean, the thing is, Venom is really an awesome character because of how like anti-Spider-Man he is. He is
Sure.
the opposite of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is such a good character. He's a character that he does everything he does because he just wants to be the best person he can. And Venom just wants to eat him. And so that fight is what keeps their like antagonism alive. And the
Sure.
whole point of Venom becoming an anti-hero is that he moves out west, which they're using that story, the Lethal Protector storyline.
Sure.
But there's no Spider-Man. They're pronouncing symbiote wrong. They have apparently it's some form of like experiment, so it's a weird cross between the original Spider-Man comics and the Ultimate Universe comics, and it just doesn't really have the right tone so far. Even the
Sure.
way he looks is just awkward. Like it looks like you've stuffed Tom Hardy into an odd rubber suit, even though it's CGI that they've ostensibly spent millions on.
Sure. I think that's the one thing that I don't know if I can agree with. I really did like the Venom stuff so far. Maybe it's just because I want it to be like as similar. I think because I'm just comparing it to the Topher Grayson thing. That was just super bad. And this one's like, all right, this is kind of, comic looking, and this is how I think Venom should look. But I think the main, the whole plot stuff is going to come from Tom Hardy actually battling the Venom symbiote, whatever they want to call it in this movie. Symbiote. But I think, we already see in the trailer that he's sort of combating this voice in his head that he's not fully evil or anything. He hasn't been taken over just yet in this first trailer. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Listen, while Tom Hardy has been very selective in his movies since he made it, he's been very selective, and I will agree with you, has a sterling record. I don't care about Venom. Gonna keep saying that. Never will care about Venom, I don't think. But I want you to talk to me, Kevin, about This Means War.
Okay.
The romantic comedy he did where he played a CIA operative alongside Reese Witherspoon and
And
Chris
Chris
Pine.
Pine. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
not see that? That was an awesome movie.
I don't believe you.
Okay, it was a terrible movie, but he was cool in it.
There we go. Thanks. But also,
All right.
I want everybody to look at the cover poster of This Means War. Go to IMDb and talk to me about how Reese Witherspoon is a beautiful woman. I said this on the podcast before and some other crappy romantic comedy that I saw. She looks how every woman should look at her age. She's aged gracefully and beautifully. That Photoshop is disgusting. Do you
Of
see that?
her or Tom
Her?
Hardy?
Yeah.
Because Tom
She's
Hardy
no
looks pretty
her.
disgusting.
I mean, Tom
That
Hardy
hurt.
looks like something that escaped out of the Addams Family.
Ooh, that
And
looks
totally.
yeah.
Chris Pine
But
looks
her
like
waist-
Dexter Morgan cosplay.
Her
Like-
waist wasn't that small when she was in Cruel Intentions and she was freaking 18. That's disgusting. This is the kind of stuff that bothers me in Photoshop because women should be portrayed as women are, and we should accept that. I underscore way that Jamila Jamil's doing. This is what we're talking about. Reese Witherspoon is gorgeous, and she doesn't deserve to have 4 inches of her waist cut off so that she's some ideal of beauty.
And it looks like her legs are like way too small. This is really
right.
bad.
It's
Her
awful.
legs are way too small compared to her
Angers
hips,
me greatly.
This
Angers me
week on the
greatly.
Nerdy Feminist Podcast.
right?
Sorry, I
Feminist-
just saw it. It
Feminist
just
things.
stuck right out to me. I looked up a terrible movie, and what I saw was a worse Photoshop. That's
But
just
really,
disgusting.
Tom
And-
Hardy's face is the worst thing in this poster.
Well, I can't wait to
because
see.
that's actually Tom Hardy's face. So that's just
I know he just looks bad. I don't know. He seems super cool. He's supposed to be super cool. Everything but his face is cool. He has the
Wow. I'll
he has
tell
the
him when I see him.
mannerisms.
I'll
He
tell
has
him.
the guns, but his face.
well, he is
man.
next to Chris Pine and Reese
Okay.
Witherspoon.
Fair.
So I mean, by comparison, that's a tough little frame to be in. That's
Oh, you got me looking at these people. Chris Pine has a huge forehead. What's that about? Did
Yeah,
they
he
Photoshop
does.
his forehead?
I'm telling you, it's the Dexter Morgan cosplay. Like he looks
Okay.
like he looks like
That
he's
really
there
got
to
me.
murder everybody and just kind of be the blood spatter expert, but no one wanted to tell him that they weren't dressing up in costumes.
All right, I'm done looking.
And
at this
Reese is
guy.
just in the middle. They're pointing guns at each other past her, and she's just in the middle, hands on her hips, like, I can't wait for this to splatter in my face.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
let's get off this.
I can't wait to hear how Tim reacts to the Black Widow solo movie poster, because I guarantee he'll have this much venom for it.
I hope not, because that's another one. Like she looks fantastic, just like the way she is. So let's hope it's perfect.
Sure. This okay.
I have nothing to add to that.
So we got a solo Black Widow movie. It's most likely going to be a prequel. We're
Yeah.
going to see some old faces, some new faces, all that stuff. I mean, finally, geez, how
I know.
long?
I'm behind this. Like, I want to hear more of her story, and I hope it's not too far set in the past, because I don't need this to be a sad movie. I want this to be an ass-kicking movie. I would love to have the interaction between her and the Winter Soldier. I think that would be amazing, because we know that he ruined her bikini line from Civil War, and like he shot at her or shot through her to hit a target. And I want to see some of that. Like, I want to see her fighting the bad guy and losing, or I don't know. Like, I
So
kinda,
you don't want it to be too dark. You just want it to be the time she gets shot through.
yes, make
Right,
it a
okay.
comedy.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Make it like, get Bucky and get someone else, and then they can be in the middle of a love triangle, and
Right?
they can Photoshop the poster. It'll be great.
Oh, please don't throw love into this. That would be the ultimate fuck you to like women movies. Like they can have okay. I'm really mad because of like Wonder
that's
Woman
it.
and all
I've
that.
been waiting for this movie for like 8 years. The first time I ever saw Black Widow on screen, I said that is some of the coolest fight choreography, man, woman, child, or otherwise. I love her fight choreography in every movie, and I've been waiting for the Black Widow movie since then. So I'm excited.
I mean, I'm
But as you
kind of
mentioned
with
that,
you.
Kevin. If you went all the way back, right? Wouldn't it be like what's that one that J Law was just in? Red Sparrow.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's-
Red
Wouldn't it be?
Sparrow.
Wouldn't it be like just like Red Sparrow? Wouldn't that be the
That's-
movie?
I don't-
Essentially?
Right. I don't want. That's why I don't want it to go back that far.
Yeah.
Like I want her to be a trained assassin. Like I'd love to have her and Hawkeye on opposite sides, or something. Like I want more of that backstory.
Are we gonna
I
get
want-
Hawkeye?
I hope so. I know so.
Are we gonna get any Hawkeye ever?
Hawkeye was. You guys seem to forget. Hawkeye was in the first trailer we saw from the new Avengers movie.
I did
we saw
forget.
his arrows.
Yep.
Are you?
So
Yeah, that was like two years ago. So I forgot.
He's in this. Okay, he's in it. I just watched Civil War last
Maybe
night.
he
It
got
was the
cut.
same damn thing where it was like, oh my god, is Hawkeye not in this? And they were like, oh no, he retired. And then he shows up and he's like, I just appointed my kids to be here.
Sure.
Guaranteed it's gonna be the same thing.
He's gonna
Maybe
do
he
the
got
same.
cut since he was in the first trailer 2.5 years ago.
No,
Maybe they cut that part. Maybe
No, maybe. Probably.
They cut his 9 scenes. His
I will
9
find out
seconds.
tomorrow night. I don't have tickets, but I completely forgot that the movie was premiering where I work tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And I'm closing alone. And
Oh
like,
boy.
one of my bosses was like, so don't get distracted by the movie. And I was like, whoa, I hadn't even put it together that this movie will be playing. I'm so sorry. No one will be closing the store. And then, so I plan on going in. I'm going to go see the movie and just,
You
hope
can
it
close the
works
store
out.
after.
Kevin, you practically own the store now, right? That's what
That's
you got
not-
moved up to,
no.
right?
That is
No?
not true.
Oh.
Nope.
Mike T, if you're listening, Kevin will close after the movie's over. Don't worry.
Oh, I forgot your coworkers listen to this. Yeah, Kevin owns. I thought that's what you were telling me, Kevin,
that was
before the
Cohan.
pod, that he owns this shit. He owns the. He hates
No.
what? Who was that?
No, honestly,
Kevin,
like
Kevin got the code.
I'm fine with it. I'm not going to see the movie until Saturday night anyway. But I just thought it was really funny that I legitimately had never even thought of the fact that there will be people coming out of the movie that have seen it when I have
Yeah.
not seen it, at a time when I ostensibly could sneak in and see some of it at least. But
Kevin, I should meet you there, and we should do more reactions.
oh god,
Yeah,
Like
that'd
we
be good.
did for Star Wars. It was so good.
Actually, I might do some with my cousin because he's super animated, and we're going tomorrow night.
you
on
should.
Thursday night,
I
so
won't
might
have
be
seen
doing
it.
really
I
should.
don't want it ruined. I am not
Yeah,
going
I
to be
agree.
doing that.
Huh? Yeah.
It was so
Cool.
much fun when we did that, though. So do it.
Oh, it
Jules.
was. We should do
Blast.
it again.
Cool.
I agree.
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
let's get into the main topic.
Let's do it.
So, as Jules insinuated earlier, our main topic is going to be the lead up to the Marvel movies. So, we're going to rank them, we're going to talk about them, we're going to shit all over some of them, and we're going to gear up for Avengers Infinity War, which is definitely going to be next week's topic. Why even beat around the bush?
This
So,
is the most anticipated movie of my lifetime.
Jules has led a very short, very uneventful life.
26 years of nothingness of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That's the last milestone in my life. Was Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. This is the next one. We're going to talk about it before we're going to say BIW before Infinity War, AIW after Infinity War. We're marking everything from this point tomorrow or yesterday if you're listening to this on Friday. But enough of that.
Jules, I will say I saw a commercial on TV yesterday, and
Yeah.
it said the cinematic event of our lifetime.
Oh,
And I
they
said,
listened to my
What the
pod-
heck? They lifted that from our podcast, and the poster that I made for Instagram the other day, copying Jules's catchphrase. We got ripped off, man.
Which one of you listeners? I bet it was Tim Zinn. I bet you Tim has some sort of Australian publicity job where he lifted my catchphrase and used it for Avengers somewhere. But we're going to be talking about Marvel movies. If you haven't, we're probably not going to spoil a whole lot of stuff, but you should be caught up already. You're listening to the Nerdy Things podcast. Why haven't you seen all these movies? We're going to be talking about it. We have a bracket. We'll be posting this bracket on social media so you can follow along, but it shouldn't be too hard to follow along. We're going to be talking about it. So basically the way a bracket goes is they have like two movies up against each other going, the winner moves on to the next round. The winners of that round go on to the next round. And then ultimately we get one winner, and that's the best. Hopefully we'll, unanimously pick the best Marvel movie. We haven't talked about it yet.
Nope.
So this is all free flowing. We're going to get started.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm very
I
glad that the bracket that I saw last week had the Hulk on there, and I argued with a friend of mine that the Hulk was not in the real MCU,
Oh yeah, no.
and he argued vehemently that it was. You're still wrong. So
This
if
was
you're listening to this, he knows who he is, and you're still wrong.
This is definitely the better one. Actually, the best one that I saw because it is all pretty evenly matched, and not like that Disney bracket that we tried the other day, which was really bad.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I told you guys a couple weeks ago I was going to watch every Marvel movie leading up to Infinity War. At the time that I said it, I was mostly thinking it would never happen. But I somehow, my wife and I found the time, and we have watched
Wow,
almost everything. Like
that's
what we
awesome.
haven't watched is we have not watched Spider-Man. We skipped Thor 1 and 2. We are probably not going to rewatch Ragnarok or Doctor Strange, which we have seen recently. We are on Civil War now. We're so close to being done. I have seen so many movies in the last 3 weeks. It's mind-blowing.
You know, quick plug to some pretty cool people at the Delphin Pod. They produce a bunch of podcasts, and I tagged Tim in one of their things recently. But Delphin Pod has a new podcast called Countdown to Infinity, which is like they rewatched all of the Marvel movies and talked about them in each episode. But they're here in San Antonio where I live, and they're like number 60 on the Spotify arts and entertainment chart, which is pretty wild.
That's
They're
awesome.
they're getting a whole lot of notoriety for this new podcast called Countdown to Infinity, and you should definitely go check them out because they're pretty cool guys. And go listen to Delphin Pod. They're doing some.
So we're
they have,
just
like,
giving
3
away
podcasts.
free ad space here now, huh?
Yeah, we
That's
are.
what we're
I
doing?
mean, if they're in the top 50 of Spotify, sure, I'll tag them in anything. And if they want to reply to us, sure. But
we're not helping them. Let's put it that way.
no.
Yeah, right.
But then maybe one of y'all will go say, "Hey, I heard that shout out from Nerdy Things Pod. What's Nerdy Things Pod?" Oh, and then
Right.
they'll have me on the show, guys. Jesus, come on, that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay,
So looking at this bracket, one thing that I have an issue with,
Yeah.
kind of. It's a pretty good bracket, but generally speaking, when you do brackets like this, it's as they set it up in sports balls, where there's clearly like 1 seeds and then there's lower seeds. And in the first round, the 1 seed plays the lower seed, so that the higher seeds naturally progress easier. So when you get down to the 4 left, it's probably 4 of the best Marvel movies. There's some really tough ones in the first round, like Guardians 2 versus Iron Man. Like those are 2 top seeds in my opinion. So right off the bat,
Yeah.
we're eliminating one of the top seeds.
Yeah, it was tough.
Looks like it's one of the last. And that's a tough one. The other one is like Avengers versus Black Panther. That's a really
Sure.
tough. The
That
bottom
was
left
tough.
and bottom right corners of this bracket are very difficult because there's other movies that we're gonna put 1 or 2 or even 3 rounds in that I would have had either of those 4 movies take them out. So when we
Okay.
get to the final 4, let's not just for the people listening, let's not frame those as necessarily our best 4 Marvel movies. But this is a good way to have this discussion because we get to discuss the merits of each of these movies individually. And we probably wouldn't, let's put it this way, we probably wouldn't talk about
A few of
Thor and
those.
Dr. Jones
3?
or anything on its own if we were just ranking like our top 5 or top 10, you know?
Sure. Let's get into the first matchup here: Thor versus Guardians of the Galaxy.
Thor and Dr. Jones.
I
Thor
have
and
no
Dr.
idea what that
Jones.
is.
It's from the Big Bang Theory.
Oh
Mm.
God.
All right, Thor.
Raj and Howard have a band and they make up songs about comic books and
I
other
don't-
comic
I
related.
don't remember asking.
nerd
I don't
thing.
remember anybody asking.
I don't care. I'm
I
explaining.
didn't.
Well, I have to do it in Raj's voice. Like that's the only way.
No.
So it's Thor and Dr. Jones. Yeah, you have to do it that way.
Oh God.
Wow, you're gonna have to cut all of that out. Let's
All
go.
of it.
Nope.
I think, as far as like origin movies go, I don't know how we feel about Thor. It definitely is higher on the rankings of the Thor movies, but definitely not one of my favorite origin ones. And what do we rate, Guardians of the Galaxy? Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best movies. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, hands down, Guardians wins this. Thor isn't a terrible movie. Thor is the second best Thor movie. I mean, there's no question that it's a good movie, but Guardians wins hands down.
Sure.
This
And
is one of those high-low seeds. There's no question
Yeah,
about it. And like you
absolutely.
said, Thor is not a bad movie, which goes to show you in a decisive win here, we have a movie that's really not that bad losing definitively.
Yeah.
The original Thor, I like the way they introduced the character. I like the way they introduced the world. And I like that Natalie Portman was in it. And I wish that Natalie Portman had stuck around. That's kind of a shame to me. And Chris Hemsworth looks fantastic. So
Yeah.
points for all of that.
sure. And we didn't talk about it, but there is 3 of us, so there is definitely going to be a 2 versus 1 if we go indecisive. But I think it's pretty unanimous right now. Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be moving on to the next round because yeah, Thor's good, but I don't know. Is that all we want to say about Thor? Because it's getting kicked out right now. I think, it did introduce a whole lot of, what Thor is or what Thor was, which is like this,
No, it was funny.
sort of idiot. It was fun. It was,
It was a good starter movie. It was low enough in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that it could get away with some of the stuff that it got away with, because we've tried to at this point get away from the really hand-holding setup movie. I mean, I realize Doctor Strange did that, but Black Panther didn't. Black Panther just threw you right into it. Spider-Man just threw you right into it. So, it shows its age.
Definitely. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, boom, next round. Next 2 movies. I don't know. This is kind of weird. Ant-Man versus Avengers: Age of Ultron. I like these
This
2
is a tough
movies
one.
for 2 different,
was.
2 different reasons. But like they both have some downfalls because, not the biggest Ant-Man fan, but I'm a fan of Paul Rudd, so, and what he did with it. So speaking on Ant-Man, I don't know, but Avengers: Age of Ultron, I don't know about the whole. As far as like big bads go, I don't know if that was the strongest one. I don't know if that's like the strongest Avengers versus so and so, but I don't know. What are y'all thinking for these? Because this one's pretty difficult for me.
I went with Ultron. I had to, because it was a better movie. I mean, I've literally just watched both of these. And
Okay.
I liked Ant-Man, but I liked Ant-Man better the first time I saw it.
Okay.
It wasn't a movie that really stood up to a rewatch because a lot of the comedy relied on the unexpected nature of it. Where with Ultron, a lot of it was the action and the fighting and the
Sure.
tense. Tony made this threat when he was trying to save the world, just like he does every goddamn time. And it humanized him. I thought it was a good representation of the Avengers.
And that definitely sets up a whole lot for Tony's arc going forward and all the things that he's going through. And that's definitely a pivotal point in this character's development. And like you were saying with Ant-Man, it took those chances because it knew, the common Marvel, sort of fan didn't really know a whole lot of Ant-Man, a whole lot of that stuff. So they can take those chances and then just do whatever on the first watch. And people will be like, oh, hey, this is really cool, and do their Marvel thing, whatever. But like you were saying, on the second watch, not so much. Tim, what are you thinking?
So, Ultron was a really good movie, but it was a little more melodramatic. I mean, there was some funny parts to it, but it definitely took itself pretty seriously, and it had to because it set up the character development was serious with Tony and just a lot of the tension between the different characters. And I watched it recently, actually, while we were in the hospital. It was on, I don't know, some TNT or whatever. And I'm like, man, this is just kind of heavy compared to what I've gotten used to from Marvel. And one of the movies that allowed us to continue to springboard more into the comedy after Guardians was Ant-Man. Ant-Man was a proof that they could take another character after Guardians that people didn't know and just be really funny with it. And I love Paul Rudd and I love the other actors and actresses that were involved. And I like an underdog. So I'm gonna pick Ant-Man because I think it helped us get to Thor Ragnarok.
See, I also had to pick Age of Ultron because the main villain was James Spader, who played Daniel Jackson in Stargate.
Oh God.
And
Stargate bias.
we have Guardians of the Galaxy, and I realized that was the first one, but in the second one, we get Kurt Russell, who played Jack O'Neill in Stargate.
Oh,
And so I kind of wanted to have them go head to head because I'm a Stargate fan. So,
just because I'm showing my "I love you, man" bias doesn't mean you can show your Stargate bias. Okay.
fair
You
enough.
pulled the "I love you, man" card. Oh no!
And if Jason's
All right.
Slapping the base.
the MCU,
So we have our
Oh.
disagreement. Tim went with Ant-Man. I'm Ultron. What did you go with, Jules? I know you kind of agreed with both of us, so I think you're
Yeah, because
sitting on the fence.
I don't know, because they're both good. But
gotta get
I
off that
definitely
fence, Jules. This is on you. This is your pick.
I definitely think, I'm counting Civil War as an Avengers movie. I definitely think Avengers Age of Ultron is the weakest of the Avengers movies so far, or the one that I like the least. But I don't know. Ant-Man was just super fun. I guess I'll go with Ant-Man. I do like Paul Rudd.
Oh, and
Damn it.
Advances.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right.
First upset.
All right.
Love
Well, what
it.
about the next one? We
So we
had
got-
Spider-Man versus the Winter Soldier.
I'm gonna have to confess something to you guys. I'm not the biggest fan of Captain America's arc at all. He's like my least favorite, and they keep just putting him in all this, like in the forefront of everything.
Yeah,
And
you know why that is though? It's because
Why?
he's fucking awesome and everybody loves him but you.
Because he's like, every time I hear him, oh, okay, well, old Captain America was just super lawful good, and he still kind of is, but we'll see in Infinity War. He just meh. I don't care.
And that's kind of the point. But that's fine. This isn't whether you like Captain America or not. This is whether you liked Spider-Man better than Winter Soldier or vice versa.
I was surprised with how much I liked Spider-Man Homecoming, and we even talked about it during the episode that we talked about. There was like still stuff that we didn't know about the movie, and this was just a fun take of the young super spider. I hate Tom Holland. I hate him with a passion. He's not my Spider-Man, but still, it was a fun and entertaining movie, and I'm gonna
Sounds
go
like
with
Tom
Spider-Man.
Holland's your Spider-Man, but that's okay.
Oh well, nope.
What about you, Timbo?
So I've been pretty critical of most of the Captain America movies. I, like Jules, have not been a huge fan of Captain America, which is funny because the guy who plays him, I like him quite a bit.
Oh, he's great.
But the first Captain America movie, I notoriously fell asleep through twice
Wow.
in the theater. Like,
Oh
saw it
no,
twice.
not
and
even on
actually being
Netflix.
Awkward.
both times. So you can kind of figure out what I'm gonna do with the first one, but that kind of tells you that I'm not the biggest Captain America fan in this universe, and I don't even remember which one Winter Soldier is.
Oh,
But I'm pretty
boy.
sure this was when it started becoming an Avengers movie instead of a Captain America movie, because they had other of the Marvel characters in there. Am I right about that?
Yeah, they had Falcon in the second. They had Winter Soldier. They had Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
I mean, they've always in these movies. They've always had the crossover. Iron Man 2. You introduced Black Widow.
Yeah, I just feel like they
War
put
Machine.
in more of the Avengers characters or more extra characters in Captain America because he needs them. But that said, Tom Holland, so Captain America wins.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. All right. So Tim's wrong
Really?
again.
So wait, what did you guys both vote for Homecoming?
Yeah, Spider-Man is the way to go, Tim.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Spider-Man was such a good, complete movie that managed to insinuate itself into this universe around the events that have happened.
Okay, so we
this
know
was
your hate
the
for
second-
Tom Holland.
If this
But-
was the second Spider-Man movie with that other guy, what was that one called?
Tousle hair guy.
Yeah.
Andrew
What was the
Garfield.
second one called?
The
Spider-Man 2: The Reckoning.
Sure,
Spider-Man
okay.
2, Spider-Manor.
If this
Vacation
were
Dog.
that movie, I
Was
would
the
vote
op-
for it over Captain America. It was better than Homecoming.
Wow. Okay, can we not agree that it had one of the most fully developed evil characters? No.
Yeah.
It had an amazing bad guy.
Yeah, I didn't. If you'll remember, we talked about it on the podcast. I didn't really like
I
it that
don't
much.
remember. I don't remember what I did
Wow.
yesterday.
And it's mostly just because I hated Tom Holland. Yeah, okay, the bad guy
Okay.
was really good, but it's freaking Michael Keaton. Like, well,
Yeah.
you
How
put
do you
him
go
in
wrong?
any movie, and it's going to be he's going to be singularly fantastic.
Right,
He
and that's
played
kind
the
of the
guy who
point.
stole McDonald's from the McDonald's brothers in a biopic, and I was glued.
Oh yeah, I forgot
to
about that.
I was glued to the screen. The guy is tremendous, but he cannot save Tom Holland. And I have
Okay.
a question
Wow.
for you guys since we're talking about Tom Holland. Do you think they've allowed him to see Infinity War yet?
No.
You think that they making him wait till opening night along with the rest of the world
Yep.
so he doesn't spoil it beforehand? Am I right about
Oh
that?
yeah. No, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. They yelled at Mark
Like he
Ruffalo for
goes to the
live streaming
premieres
before
and
right
signs the autograph on the red carpet, the one that they just did, and then they're like, "Sorry, Mr. Holland, you're gonna have to wait outside. You
Yeah.
can't come in to see the movie.
Oh,
You gotta wait
absolutely.
until next Thursday night."
I mean, he saw a costume and was like, "Whoa, that'd be really cool." And it's one of the ones he's wearing in the movie. So yes, no, he is not.
Either way, Spider-Man goes on to the next one. Spider-Man
That's
Homecoming
disappointing,
beats
but oh
out
well.
Captain America the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
What do we got next? Okay, this one is what Tim was talking about. One of the
Ooh,
difficult
this is
ones.
tough.
Marvel
Yeah.
Avengers versus Black Panther. I mean, honestly, this one took a while, but I did have some problems with Black Panther. Wasn't the I didn't come out of there wowed, but Avengers, when you see it's more of like just the time that it came out, the time period, the where we were at in the Marvel universe when we finally saw all these characters come together. It was kind of fantastic. And I'm not too sure if it holds up as well as any of the other ones or how well Black Panther is going to hold up, but definitely Avengers in the moment that some super fans or fans of the movies had during Avengers, seeing all these characters together, I think it was kind of fantastic. So I'm going to go with Avengers.
I had to go with Black Panther.
Mm.
I think it was
Ooh,
just so
this one's
visually
mine.
stunning. I thought that we had to go with Black Panther.
But the rhinos, Kevin, the rhinos.
Yeah. Tiebreaker, Tim, what do you got?
So I gave Black Panther an 8.2, I think, which is a very respectable score. It was a very good movie.
I just want to point out Tim had to bring up what he gave Black Panther as a
did.
score only because I had someone in the store this past week who was making fun of Tim for giving it a 4.2. And I honestly couldn't fight back against this guy because I didn't remember what Tim had given it. So go on, Tim. Now that you've
Just
made your
saying.
case, now that you've brought it back to the forefront, what you gave it, go on.
It was a very good movie. I enjoyed it a whole lot. It had some plot issues. That was my biggest issue, was the story. I thought the acting was fantastic. The special effects were top notch for the most part. It really was, it fit itself into the universe really, really well. But I had some issues with the story. Avengers, it's classic at this point. This now has to be considered a classic movie because it brought all of these heroes together for the first time. It set up this great story arc that we're seeing culminated this week. I've got to put through Avengers. I have to, just because of what it was. I have to put it through. And I feel bad because to a degree, Black Panther is a cultural phenomenon. What it's meant to certain people to see these characters on the screen, I get that. But we're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe here, and that doesn't happen if we don't manage to get all of these actors and actresses to sign on and do this movie called Avengers and commit to doing these ensemble pieces going forward. So I got to put through Avengers. I got to do it. That's it. Got to do it.
Sure. This was the stepping stone or the Infinity Stone, the very first one to get us to where we're at right now. Thank you,
Yes.
Tim, and I appreciate you. That's why you're
Sorry.
my best friend
I had to
on the
do it.
podcast. Let's go to the other side of the bracket. Start at the top. We got Doctor Strange versus Iron Man 3. I'm already gonna. I mean, everybody already knows how much I love Doctor Strange. That's just a fantastic origin movie. That's just a fantastic. I don't know. It's just so interesting, the world that he's in. Benedict Cumberbatch. He's amazing in it, and I love what he's doing. Just keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing, and I mean, there's no question. It's Doctor Strange. Iron Man 3. What movie was that one? Which one's that one? I don't remember. Nobody remembers.
No,
Doctor Strange.
I do.
I watched it recently, and it was not. It doesn't hold up well. It was not a great movie.
Which one? Which one are you talking about?
Iron Man 3.
No.
But guys, this is the one where Tony goes out without the suit and still kicks ass.
Whoa.
Sure,
He-
it's
Jimmy-
the one where Iron Man goes without being Iron Man for the entirety of the movie. The one thing people are watching for didn't come up.
No. That is not the one thing people are watching for, and that's why I put Iron Man 3 through. Tony Stark is the greatest comic book character in the history of comic books. Not Iron Man, Tony Stark. Tony Stark for his confidence, his vibrato, his
Bravado.
He sings really well.
He sings really
very
well.
bravado.
He's a vibrato.
bravado.
I mean, really.
Shut up. Guy's got an angel voice. Okay. His bravado. Oh, I know that's gonna come back to bite me this week.
Oh, that's great.
His bravado, his humor, his ingenuity, his genius, his toughness, as we see without the suit here. Iron Man is what I come to these movies for. Tony Stark is what I come to these movies for. He is my favorite Marvel character. I have to put Iron Man 3 through because of Tony frickin' Stark and Robert Downey Jr.
Kevin?
Yeah, no, it was Doctor Strange.
All right, Doctor Strange. Let's go. No,
Yeah,
but
hands
really,
down.
okay, yeah, Iron Man 3 was okay. It was a movie. It's better than I think Iron Man 2.
Yeah, but here's the
People
thing.
turned red.
I got to tell you, in Iron Man 3, the biggest problem with it is that he doesn't use his suit. Like, and I get it. I know what you're saying, Tim. I do. I hear you. But he had like 43 Iron Man suits just kind of sitting there. And at the end of the movie, he just kind of uses all of his money to like give this kid a new workshop and all. You're freaking Tony Stark. Buy some stuff. Don't just go to Home Depot and look like you're trying to murder the entire high school. I would not have sold him any of the stuff that he bought.
He had to
Especially
do
with
it on the down
shape.
low, man. Come on.
Seriously, I don't care. The teenager working the register at Big Lots or wherever he bought this stuff would definitely look at this and go, oh no, this guy's going to blow some shit up. And I mean, maybe not stop him, but maybe follow him or at least call attention to him.
Explosion. Yeah, I want to go
That
see
is-
where that explosion.
Right. That is the least believable part of this movie.
Going back to Doctor Strange, it visually just beautiful. Just, I mean, watching it, all the visual effects, it looked fantastic. I don't know.
It was like a dream. I mean, it was amazing.
It was like a dream from Inception, like one of those things.
Yeah.
Like for a while, I thought I was watching Inception. It was fantastic. Something that I was not expecting. I didn't know anything about Doctor Strange, but definitely one of my favorite origin movies. So that one's going to be going on.
Don't misunderstand me. I like Doctor Strange.
Sure.
Actually, it was a really good movie.
I get that.
But also, I also have to give credit to that Iron Man 3 for having Adam Pally in it. He played the cameraman that was obsessed with Tony Stark. He was a character in a television show that ran for 3 seasons that never should have gotten canceled called Happy Endings. And that guy's freaking hilarious. And Adam Pally should be in more things. And kudos to the team at Iron Man 3 for casting him.
Both of y'all with y'all's obscure references from
Right.
things that I don't care about at all.
I modeled my whole look after you, man.
Dude,
That
he's
was
so
great.
funny.
Yeah.
He's so funny. But anyways.
Next up, we have Captain America Civil War versus Thor the Dark World. Is this even a question?
Nope.
Thor the Dark World
No.
was the worst Thor movie.
See, you keep saying Thor the Dark World, I'm pretty sure. I see your lips moving, but I don't hear anything because it's just Civil War. There's no
Okay.
other movie in this bracket.
Sure. That, Thor, let's talk about that one because it's going to get kicked out.
Hold on. What? When you say no other movie in this bracket, you mean like just that choice, not
This,
the
I'm
side
sorry,
it's on?
in this part of the bracket.
All right, good, because there's some heavy hitters on this side of that
Oh,
bracket.
yeah.
So
No. But I mean, it's just Civil War versus Thor the Dark World. come on.
Yeah.
No.
What I want to know is how did all three Thors make it on this bracket, and all three Iron Mans did not? Like, who? Like, that's one of the other issues I had here. If you're gonna put a not so great middle movie in a trilogy, it's got to be Iron Man 2 and not Dark World. If you want to get something trounced by Civil War, let it be another Iron Man movie, not Thor 2 Dark World.
Sure.
Okay, come on.
So Thor, I mean, that was definitely a misstep on the Thor franchise, but it definitely picked back up, and we're totally cool. And now Thor's like one of my favorite Avengers and a lot of people's new favorite Avengers. But we didn't see him in Captain America Civil War, but that was still okay. We saw a lot of other Avengers, other people. We finally
That was
see
an Avengers movie.
Yeah, that was an Avengers
Let's
movie.
call that what it was. That was an
2.5.
Avengers movie. Yeah.
Yeah, Avengers. Yeah, like Kevin said,
And I was
2.5.
fine with that. I mean, it was a fine event.
That's what Captain America needs.
Definitely. That's the only reason I watched this Captain America movie, is because it was another Avengers movie. And it was fantastic. I mean, we'll talk more about it in the next tier, but it was really good. It's moving on.
Yeah, we'll talk
Captain
about it in
America
the next
Civil
bracket in the biggest beatdown of the entire thing. On the whole board, this is the biggest beatdown by a mile. And Tom Holland's not even in it.
Okay.
God.
All right. So I have no idea what you're talking about, Tim, but how would you rank Ragnarok versus Captain America?
I think Ragnarok's a borderline 1 seed and Captain America is a snooze fest. So Thor's hammer takes Captain America's whole movie and crushes it, because Ragnarok was flipping fantastic. What do we give it, a 13 or something like that?
Yeah.
13 out of
Let's
10.
move on.
Yeah.
This is Ragnarok for days.
He actually lost his hammer. He's going to
There's no
be
hammer.
picking up his new weapon, and I won't spoil it.
Hammerless.
I won't spoil what his new
definitely
weapon
not
is.
going to be an axe. It's going to be an axe.
Okay, Kevin's
What?
going to spoil it. All
Dude,
right.
this is like I saw someone who went and saw somebody who does a podcast who went and saw Infinity War and then put on their Insta stories after, like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but, and it was an emotion. And I'm not even going to say what the emotion was because that would ruin it for you guys.
Sure.
But I'm like, dude, don't do that, because
No.
then it makes me think things.
I still
And
haven't seen it.
that's
I
stupid.
can't confirm he's getting an axe. I'm just
Can't confirm, but it's
wild
in the lore.
speculation.
Yeah, okay, Kevin. But Thor Ragnarok, that was a fantastic movie. We talked about it in a past episode. Go check out the Thor Ragnarok episode, because we loved it for about an hour and a half, and we gave it the highest rating ever.
That was our highest rated movie of the year last year.
Thor Ragnarok. It was a fantastic film. Yeah, Captain America. Again, I don't care. I don't know why I have to care. But
Guardians 2 versus Captain or Iron Man.
Oh boy,
Captain
Captain
Iron
Man.
Yeah,
Guardians.
This is ridiculous. This is the
Volume 2,
ridiculous
Iron
one.
Man.
right.
What the heck? Iron Man is the godfather of the MCU. This is the movie that started it all. If it wasn't for Robert Downey Jr. having been in jail and been on drugs and been hard up for a movie, the MCU might have never happened.
If it weren't for Terrence Howard, we may not be where we are. And I apologize. On Dumb All Over this week, I could not come up with Terrence Howard's name to
Wow,
save
that's
my
bad.
life. The second we hit stop on the recording, I was like, damn it. But yeah, no, honestly, if Terrence Howard hadn't gotten him this job, and then he hadn't eclipsed Terrence Howard and we brought in Don Cheadle, the MCU would look drastically different.
There were multiple people that went to bat for him to get this movie. Terrence Howard being one of them. Mel Gibson, as odd as that sounds at this point in time, was a big advocate for getting him in a big movie like this. Like I said, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is one of the great actors of this generation. And I'm not just talking about a guy who does action. He is a tremendous actor. He can play any part. He has no business at this point in time, with comic book movies being what they are in 2008, he has no business playing Iron Man, but he needed this, and they got him, and they got Jon Favreau, and they struck freaking gold. They got lucky as anybody could get, and they have built an empire on the back of that lucky chance.
And so I'm hearing that Iron Man wins.
Yeah.
But Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is
Oh,
so
God.
freaking good. Oh,
Right.
it's so freaking good.
That's
It's
exactly
one of
it.
the best, arguably the best in my mind, Marvel movie. So how can I pit these together? This is this is an impossible little conundrum here.
Jules, what do you got?
Guardians of the Galaxy was good, but I feel confident enough of me putting all my chips in Guardians of the Galaxy, the very first one, that I'm going to go ahead and go with Iron Man.
But I think the second one
You're a
was better
loser.
than the first one. This is a
I don't know.
utilitarian nightmare.
This was Guardians 2 for me.
Crossover podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
I had to go with Guardians 2.
I'm saying Iron Man.
It beat out Iron Man because of just
you're
how
doing this
awesome
to
it
me.
was.
You guys actually made a decision and you're doing this to me.
Yeah.
I guess you're the tiebreaker.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Iron Man is so classic. It's so choice. It has this character that you love, that you kind of hate. You think you're gonna hate, but you end up loving him. You find out so much about his character so fast, and you just feel for him, and you figure this out. There's a fantastic story. It's everything. It's a classic Marvel movie in a bottle. This is the picture perfect Marvel movie.
David
possibly.
Hasselhoff.
If
Baby Groot.
if I had to rank the top 3 Marvel movies, I think we're looking at 2 of them right here. So you realize what this is doing to me.
Sure.
Murder.
Can we at least say that Iron Man is one of the best origin movies? Can we say that? Can we all agree
It's
on that?
one of the top 3 of all of the movies,
Okay,
in my
cool.
opinion.
Hands down, Jules. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, hands down. But
Just making sure.
But
It's
pitted
just-
against
I'm so-
Guardians 2, you've got Sylvester Stallone, Michael Rooker.
You don't need all that. You don't need all that.
mean,
You got
You say
freaking
Tony
Mary
Stark.
Poppins.
Nah,
I'm Mary
But
Poppins,
how-
y'all.
But
No.
how can I have a Marvel Cinematic Universe where I don't put Tony Stark into the second round? How can that exist?
He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
Dude, this is like physically paining me right now. I
Tim,
don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
The
I don't know what
first
to do.
bracket. This is like
I
the
feel like
first
cheating.
round.
I feel like Cheaty. My
Make a
stomach is
decision.
hurting so bad.
Oh my God, a pit just opened up behind me. Please make a decision.
Do I go with the movie that I liked
Oh,
the best
Oh my
or the
God,
one
I'm
that means
hurting.
the most?
On the one hand, we have a trolley that's going to hit 4 people. Tim, just make a fucking decision.
So here's the thing. The other thing I have to think about is the podcast. If I put through Iron Man, Ragnarok goes through the next round pretty easily, in my opinion. If I put through Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think we have a legit another rock'em sock'em fight there.
Then why wouldn't that be your answer? We're looking for that fight.
Because
And
of
Guardians it is.
because of what Iron Man means to the universe.
Moving on. No. If you're telling me that Ragnarok would trounce Iron Man, but Ragnarok would fight Guardians,
No,
then it's
not
Guardians.
trounce,
hands
but it
down.
would go through pretty easily. It'd be like a 3-round fight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Semantics got in the way.
All right, John Favreau, I'm sorry, but Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was how do you get better than the first one? You just do. And
literally,
and you
this
make it
is
through
the
first
one
one.
episode of Nerdy
Just
Things
do it.
podcast John Favreau is listening to.
You just
Oh.
do it.
You
Just
had to
ruined
hear
it.
that. So Guardians of the Galaxy
John,
2.
we're gonna do an Elf episode. Come on, we'll do an episode on Elf. Come
Nice.
on.
Yes, we
Yes.
All right.
All right. Yes. All right.
Iron
Guardians
Man,
2. Guardians
whatever.
2.
All right.
Done. It's done. It's done.
Perfect.
Let's start right back up at the top. We got the winners. What is this called? What's the second round called, Tim? I don't know
It's
how
called
to
the second round.
How
Move
many are
on.
left? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the Elite 8.
Oh.
The Elite
All right.
8.
So the Elite 8, Guardians versus Ant-Man.
Isn't it? No question. Guardians
Oh,
for sure.
yeah.
Guardians.
Guardians. It's
Guardians for
amazing.
days.
Yeah, let's.
Ant-Man-
I mean, because we didn't talk about Guardians the first time because it was such an easy pass through. Guardians is fantastic. It brought in characters that nobody knew anything about and
None.
made us love them immediately.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is a
characters
better space epic than Star Wars.
and the way it worked, the music the music it chose, like all of it was just right. I mean, everything about it was perfect.
That was just
It
like a super.
redefined the
Yeah.
comic book movie again. Like Marvel couldn't keep doing this. You didn't think they could keep redefining the comic book movie? Well, they did. They redefined the comic book movie again. It was
Exactly.
picture perfect.
That's what I was gonna say. It was just like a super kick in the pants, just like out of nowhere. This Guardians of the Galaxy movie. We don't know the characters. We don't know what's going on. We don't know their dynamics. He's a raccoon? What?
Yep.
What's that? But then it's fantastic, and it just like it took it to the next level, honestly. And we did not expect that. So of course, Guardians is going to go on. Ant-Man, fantastic origin movie. It's, not in my top so far because there are a lot of really good ones, but he's up there. I think
up there. He's fine.
Yeah. Let's call it. It was an upset for him to even get in the second round. So,
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. So
we got next.
Spider-Man versus Avengers. What do you got?
Avengers, like by 7 miles.
Jules?
This is now the biggest trouncing, I think, maybe of all of them. I don't know, because it's got friggin'
I
Tom
really
Holland.
do. It's not the Tom Holland thing. I've already gotten over it. You should get over it too. I hate Tom Holland, but I think it's about time. He's gonna be here for a while.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to get used to him. But I really love the enemy in Spider-Man Homecoming. It was fantastic. We still didn't know a whole lot of stuff, but still, the Avengers, the moments, the way it made me feel, seeing all these characters, I loved it. I'm gonna have to go with Avengers as well.
I hate you both.
I'm sorry.
All right. Fine.
You really turn me on.
Spider-Man, though, definitely big showing.
Uh-huh.
Kind of an amazing quote-unquote origin story, even though we already saw some of him.
Oh boy. Doctor Strange in Civil War.
Who wants to start this one?
You just made
Civil
it
War.
way harder for me.
Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War.
Civil
Okay.
War.
I didn't have to say it. Okay.
I guess I would have put through either Iron Man 3 or Civil War, but yeah.
Iron Man 3? Okay.
Yeah, Civil War.
Uh,
Let's see. What do we got? Ragnarok versus Guardians 2. Tim, I want you to lead this one because you look like you're not
just
anything.
going to the floor.
these were our top 2 rated movies, right? For last year?
I'm just on the floor in the fetal position right now.
Goodbye, Tim. Have a nice nap.
Oh, God.
What the heck? How do I do this?
These were the top 2 movies.
Ragnarok. It was Ragnarok.
It was Ragnarok.
It was Ragnarok.
I definitely do think Guardians 1 was fantastic. Guardians 2 wasn't as
Guardians
highly
2
expected. It was fantastic.
Was phenomenal, but I think Ragnarok beat it in its mastery of comedy and seriousness.
Yeah.
I think that it had to beat it hands down. So Ragnarok has to move on.
Guardians 2 one-upped Guardians 1, which I didn't think was possible. I was so nervous when Guardians 2 came out because I loved the first one so much. I'm like, how can they be better? But it was better. And I remember last year thinking, this is it. This is the culmination of Marvel Comics movies. And then out of nowhere, we saw Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And
Thor 3
all of a sudden, Ragnarok was a better movie. And I'm like, how did that happen? How did Thor, Dark World, how did we go from that to this? It just totally took control of itself, and it was amazing.
You have to blame Taika Waititi for it. It was hilarious.
Oh, sure. That's a lot of it is his.
Piss off, Ghost.
Big ups to Taika Waititi and just taking control of that. And I talked about this when we did the Ragnarok. Big ups to everybody involved who was just okay with changing Thor. For Chris Hemsworth, for listening to a Kevin Smith podcast where Kevin Smith talked about how he didn't like the direction of the Thor movies and how it was the worst of the Marvel movies. And instead of getting offended, to go to Kevin Feige and say, hey, don't you think maybe we should try something different like you've been doing with these other movies? And for all parties involved to not be so stuck in their own success, to say, we can do different, we can do better, and to embrace it and just deliver this movie, Ragnarok, which was fantastic.
Yeah, I was happy with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, nothing else. That Ragnarok was fantastic. Let's keep it going.
Final four. Guardians versus Avengers.
Guardians.
Guardians. I mean, it
Oh,
has to be.
Okay, sure. Let's just do that. Why not?
I mean, honestly, Guardians was the Avengers movie without needing the other movies to come to
Right.
it. It had
Sure.
all of the characters. We didn't need the setup for it. We loved them from the start. They were complete characters, fully formed. I don't know how
Guardians was Avengers with an 80s soundtrack, and that was kind of amazing.
how do you beat that? You cannot.
Sure.
Civil War versus Ragnarok.
Well, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok every day of the week.
Sure.
I mean, honestly, it was so vibrant.
I don't know.
So
Do people?
good.
Yeah. Do people? I don't know what people think, or I don't know the clear consensus. But do people really give Civil War as much, as much as it deserves? Because that was like really good.
It was good,
but it wasn't as
I
good
thought
as
Civil
Ragnarok.
War was one of the better Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would say probably Avengers, the original, and then Civil War, because I just count that as an Avengers movie. But
you
I think
can't
in
help
my mind,
but yes.
it was probably the second best of the Avengers movies in my opinion.
That one had a good
But it wasn't
storyline.
Ragnarok.
No, it was no Ragnarok, but I mean, Civil War is getting knocked out right now, so I just want to talk a little bit about it. But Civil War, it just had a interesting story. This is also a huge comic book arc that everybody's been waiting to see. Pitting each other, Civil War, it's in the name, pitting the Avengers against each other. Like seeing this epic battle at the airport, that was like a fantastic, just ground-breaking battle that we would never have seen if we didn't have Civil War.
Especially that scene where Captain America straight up tried to murder the teenager Spider-Man, because he had no idea that Spider-Man could take the weight of that gantry, and he just fucking dropped it on him.
Mhm.
So
we all wish that he had killed him, but
no, we don't.
So what do we got? What's left right
So
now?
that pits Guardians against Ragnarok.
Gotta do it. It's gotta be Ragnarok.
Got to pull that trigger. It's Ragnarok.
It's got to be
If
Ragnarok.
it beat Guardians 2, which was better than Guardians 1 by the transitive property, Ragnarok beats Guardians.
Solved it.
Wow. So
definitively,
Thor Ragnarok is the best Marvel movie.
I said it when we reviewed
according to this bracket.
yes. I mean, yes. We gave it a 13 out of 10. You can't beat that.
That's true. We'll never beat it again. It won't ever happen.
No. Wow.
Yeah,
that was an awesome road.
I said it when we reviewed it. And I think Kevin probably said the same thing, that Ragnarok was the best of, or at least my favorite of the Marvel movies.
At the very least so far, but yeah, absolutely.
Sure. And it was the best and our favorite, because like some of these are really good, and some of these like have a good story. These can be the best, cinematically or whatever, but Thor Ragnarok was also fantastic to watch, a favorite. You can rewatch this one over and over again, I think, and that it was just amazing. Again, I have no other words. What is everybody else thinking out there? What are you thinking when you're listening to this? We would definitely love to hear. We would love to hear your feedback. We'll be posting the bracket that we followed on social media. You can go ahead and add your picks, add your winnings. Did you get it wrong?
Call us 97878 nerdy.
Did I do Iron Man wrong in this?
No.
Guys,
no.
Ease my guilt or pummel me, one or the other.
I will
I'm
pummel you.
Carry this with me.
Just stop it.
Please tell us how wrong we are or how right we were, how wrong Tim was. 978 or wait, nope, don't do that. 978-786-3739, 978-786-3739. We will play your voicemails on the show. We haven't had voicemails in a while. I miss your voices. We want to hear back from you. Or if you don't want to talk, you can leave us a tweet or Instagram message us or Facebook message us at Nerdy Things Pod, at Nerdy Things POD on most social media. You can also send us some lengthy emails if you want, nerdythingspod@gmail.com. You can also visit our website, nerdythingspod.com, for the latest nerdy news updated daily and links for our merch for shirts and more, links to the YouTube to watch the podcast episodes, because we do these in video, and our Patreon for extra content like bloopers and early access to our stuff. You do get the podcast early. You do get access to the live recordings of the podcast for $1. You can do that. We also have another podcast if you want to talk or hear us talk about what's the show called? The Good Place. I was going to say Everything is Fine, but the podcast is called Everything is Fine, A Good Place podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play, pretty much anywhere. iHeartRadio. I found out we're on that recently. Now we're on pretty much everything. Wherever you listen to this podcast that you're listening right now, hear us talk about that show, because that one's super fun. We're going episode by episode and talking about the Good Place podcast. We have a Facebook group that's connected to the Facebook of Nerdy Things Podcast. So if you go to Nerdy Things Podcast and look up little groups, it should be right there. Everything is Fine group. And we're going to be discussing, we already started discussing the podcast and the show, The Good Place. Or you can look up Everything is Fine, and it should be the first one that pops up. But you can do all that stuff. We have another podcast. This podcast is going to keep going. Next week, we're talking about Infinity War. Podcast. If you're taking a drink every time Jules says podcast, I'm sorry. You're
hammered.
You are done. But definitely, we want to hear your thoughts about Marvel, and this is like the coming of Christ for us right now.
Wow, that's a little extreme,
well,
all right.
But voicemails, we got a ton of voicemails when we did Star Wars, and this is on that level for sure. It's on that level. So yeah, throw us some voicemails. Call and talk about the brackets this week, but also by the time you're listening to this, or a few days after, you've probably seen Infinity War. We're talking that next week. So we'd love to play your voicemail on the episode for that discussion as well. So get at us about both of those things and review us. Go to iTunes, go to places of that nature, and give us some reviews. We'd appreciate that as well.
Yes, we need new iTunes reviews. I'd like to thank Adipsia for these. Oh my God. I usually say it right after, and now I can't say it. I say it every week. I'd like to thank Adipsia for the use of his song, Friends Don't Let Friends. Go to TGI Fridays. You can hear more of his music at adipsia.bandcamp.com. He just released a new album called Imbue.
The Stoic.
And I'd like to thank the Bell Curve for the music we use under the main topic. All right.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.